coming back on the question of the abandon of the concept of socialism, because for the people normally, there is a kind of division between if you are not for the capitalism, you are for the socialism. And you really, through your book, somehow abandon this concept. And you are on your way to think and to try to find other ways. Could you maybe develop a little bit more on how you come to such a radical conclusion?
Now, of course, my personal biography has a lot to do with my cautious approach both to capitalism and to socialism. When I was growing up in Bulgaria, in my native Bulgaria, under the old regime, I became a dissident to fight state socialism in the name of a more true socialism, in fact. You know, we didn't put capitalism as our dream. And then when I went to New York to do my PhD, I joined the socialist movement in America against capitalism. So I like to be a little bit of a dissident on both sides. So my idea here is that we do not need to endorse any grand utopia, socialist or not, in order to mobilize this anti-capitalist wave that is growing nowadays. Look, when capitalism was replaced by, feudalism was replaced by capitalism, nobody called that new society capitalist. The word was coined much later, in the mid of 19th century, as a critique of the existing injustices in that social order. So we can move away with pushing all in the same direction. We can move away from capitalism, I call that subversion, without really attacking it in the name of any grand idea. I confess I would describe myself as a liberal socialist or liberal communist, but it does not matter. Exactly because I might say, I'm not claiming this in the book, that the socialist idea might have become even a bit of a liability for anti-capitalist struggle because it was so badly discredited by the dictatorships in Eastern Europe. So we need to break away from this straitjacket of choosing between capitalism or socialism and think big, think beyond that by focusing on fighting the forms of injustice that people worry about. By this massive precariousness that has afflicted us, as you notice, the rich and the poor, the well-educated and the poorly educated, men and women. It is a massive phenomenon that I believe actually it is this precarity, this vulnerability, massively felt vulnerability, that makes us experience inequality and stagnant wages as a social problem. Otherwise, inequality and stagnant wages in themselves are not automatically a problem. But this insecurity is making people, this anxiety is making people experience these phenomena as a social problem. So to me, we need to fight this economic instability first in order to allow people to move ahead and to think big again.